In this video, we're going to take a step closer to how to write Java source code. We will think about the requirements for a simple class whose instances can store data and both respond to questions about that data and allow changes to it. These are the foundational features of classes and objects that we will be seeing, writing, and using over and over again throughout this course. The focus of our exploration will be the sort of software that might be used inside a machine that can print tickets. For instance, train tickets, bus tickets, car park tickets, and so on. At the simplest level, such a machine needs to be able to receive money from a customer, to keep track of how much money a customer has entered, match the money entered against a ticket price, and print a ticket. There are other features that we could consider, but those we have described will suffice for now as far as getting started with writing Java source code. Let's begin our exploration with an example program that already implements those basic features in order to give you an idea of what we're aiming for. This project is an extended version of the naive ticket machine project that you can find in the examples for chapter 2. This version consists of two classes, ticket machine and ticket machine interface. Creating an instance of ticket machine interface results in a window appearing that mimics the most basic user interface of a ticket machine. It displays the price of a particular type of ticket, 1,000 cents, the current balance, how much the customer has input so far, and provides a field where simulated money can be entered. At the bottom is a print button for when the balance meets the price of the ticket. The ticket machine interface creates an instance of a ticket machine object and interacts with it in response to the customer's actions on the user interface. If we type a number into the amount area, representing physical coins or notes being entered or a card payment, the balance is updated. Pressing print then causes a ticket to be printed, in this case for the fictitious Blue Jay train line, and the balance is reset to 0. At this point, it's worth pausing and thinking about what sort of data and methods a ticket machine object might have to enable it to provide this sort of functionality. The data items are fairly easy to work out. It needs to store a number for the price of its tickets. It needs a number to keep track of how much a customer has entered. We'll call this the balance. The methods require a little more thought, but it's useful to remember that the primary purpose of a method is either to provide information about the data an object stores or to allow that data to be modified in some way. Here are the main methods we will consider. A method to return information on the ticket price. This is needed to ensure that a ticket is only printed if enough money has been inserted by a customer. A method to receive money from the customer and record a corresponding increase in the balance. A method to print the ticket. This will result in a change to the ticket machine state in that the balance will be reduced by the price of the ticket. From now on, we're going to work with a slightly simpler version of this project, which you can find in the materials for chapter 2. It's called Naive Ticket Machine. This has no window for a user interface, so we will be interacting directly with a ticket machine object. Let's create a ticket machine object. As part of this process, we actually have to say what the price of the tickets are from this machine. So let's say 1,000 as in the previous example. Now let's bring up an inspector. We can see that a ticket machine actually stores 3 items of data in contrast to the 2 that we described earlier. The additional item is a record of the total amount of money that has been entered into the machine, which continually increases as more and more tickets are printed. Let's look at its methods. Again, it has little more than we originally considered. A method to return the ticket price, a method to return how much money a customer has entered, a method to update the amount of money a customer has inserted, a method to print a ticket. We can repeat what we did via the GUI by directly interacting with this ticket machine object. Why not have a go yourself working with this project? One thing to note is that we have called it naive ticket machine for a reason. In practice, it does not actually behave exactly as it should, and this version should certainly not be used live in a real ticket machine. See if you can discover some of its limitations through your exploration of the project. In a future video, we will think about how we can remove those limitations and make a better version. We will also start to write from scratch the source code of the ticket machine class.